Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in right now. I am just waiting for Glen North to log in and we will get it underway. Glen, remember on your SteamYard account, just lower the volume down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you should be able to hear it here. Hey, what's up, Courtney? Amir, what's up, buddy? How are you? We got some folks checking in right now, so we're going live. Hey, everybody who's watching on YouTube and on Facebook. We're waiting right now as Glen gets it going.
Yeah, wait, should I get,
Glen, if you wouldn't mind just popping into the... Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Glen. Yes, there we go. Pop over. What's up, Jay Marks? How you doing? Glen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's get you on Instagram. Let's get you on Instagram as well.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me as we get the technical difficulties done right now. Hey, guys. What's up, Karen? We got Jay Marks. What's up, buddy?
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
Here we go. We're getting Glen right now. It just takes a little bit of time as we get all these things set up. So I appreciate you for sticking with us as we get it going here. We got Glen just joined and request view. Okay, go live with Glen. All right, so we are currently live on Instagram and on Facebook and YouTube. So here we go. All right, Glen, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Just wanted to say thank you so much for checking in. It was an amazing. Can you hear me now? Hey, Glen, how are you? Checking in. I can hear you fine. Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties. It's okay, just hang on. We're gonna get right there. Hey, Glen, I can hear you.
Oh, there I got it. I got you.
You got me? You got me? All right. I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us as we're figuring this technology out. Glen. All right.
Yeah,
So we're getting. Yeah, you got it. All right. Now we're live. All right. Thank you all so much for your patience. We have Glen North here, who's the star of this show, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, Glen. You took the storm, the show by storm. So I just want to talk to you real quick about the end of the show when you pulled down the pride flag. I just want to hear your thoughts, immediate thoughts. I almost was in tears, to be completely honest with you, when you were doing it. So I just want to hear your immediate thoughts on what it was like when you were pulling that flag down at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So pulling the flag down kind of felt like it was like the perfect way to like finish the weekend. And it was like, it's over. And, I think it reminds me when it's Pride in New York City and you just see pride flags everywhere. It just, I love the pride flag. So the pride flag is just, it's a beautiful symbol. And one of the, each color has a different representation, it represents something different. I don't remember what all of them are. But one of the beautiful things is like, it's supposed to encapsulate the diversity of the gay community, because if you are of the LGBT community, you're not necessarily from one country or one background. It's all these different people all over the world, and so I think the pride flag kind of captured that so well. It's all these different colors blending together, and I remember it makes me think of like my first prides. Like I'll never forget my first pride was in DC.
Okay.
I was coming back from college. So it was my freshman year of college, and it was the first time starting to like actually celebrate being gay as opposed to, wishing that I wasn't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of years in my life where I literally, like, I remember thinking, if there was a pill that you could take that would make you straight, I would have taken it without any hesitation.
Wow.
And it was at Pride events that I started to like get it. I remember I used to think like, what does pride mean? Like, why would I be proud of this? And it was at these events where like everyone is just their authentic self and celebrating and so inclusive and welcoming. And that's when I remember starting to get that feeling of like, oh, like that's what that means.
Yeah.
You know? And so I see that whenever I see a pride flag somewhere. And you know, like what I say in the show, like it means gay people are welcome here. I unfortunately at this point, like I think there's a lot of members of our community that still don't always feel welcome. There was actually a point, some cities in America started adding a brown and a black stripe to the pride flag to show, because a lot of times in our community, it can be run by like cis white gays, and they're not super inclusive of our brothers and sisters of color, you know, the people of color in our community. And so they added those stripes so that it would show like we are inclusive of that. So like it's an ideal, and we don't always live up to that ideal, but what the flag represents and what it means and what it stands for, and that ideal that we don't always get is just a beautiful thing. And so I remember like taking it down and I was like, oh God, it's over.
Unbelievable. It was such a fun weekend, and you made note of a couple things. I mean, you talked about being inclusive, and you know, for me as a straight guy, you know, I was a little apprehensive. I mean, out of all the weekends, for me personally, I was like, this is a weekend where I'm like, I don't really know what to do here, and I was a little maybe afraid. I'm happy to say it, but at the beginning of the episode, the first thing that you did was you were very inclusive to me, and you and I had that dialogue at the beginning, and I thought it was a very honest dialogue, and you were like, just listen, you know, just listen to their stories. And I took that to heart, and I really tried to listen to as many stories as I could over the weekend. And what I felt is, you know, a lot of joy just hearing where they came from and where they are now, and how they feel. And some of it wasn't joy, you know, it was not every story is happy, and there are families that don't accept you. I mean, you even said that, you know, your father would write you passive aggressive, you know, emails. So I just, you know, I really appreciate you for being inclusive for me, because it was, you know, such a, you know, it was a scary thing for a straight guy to go into a weekend like that. But I think you did such a great job, and I really appreciated you, you know, walking me through it. You know, it was a lot of help, and I thought, you know, you did a great job. So my other question for you is just like along the teasing side of things. You know, you said that you were bullied mercilessly when you were at camp. I mean, I didn't know that until the show aired. You know, I didn't realize that there's so many layers to the feelings that you're going through, especially when you're on TV and your whole life is exposed. So tell me just a little bit about that. I'm super curious as to how you were bullied, why you were bullied, and how you got through it.
Yeah, so we see a little image of me in I was at Camp Thunderbird. Okay. And I think that is the definition of a glow up. So I was obsessed with Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Third Rock from the Sun.
Okay.
And at the time, he had a ponytail in Third Rock from the Sun, and I was like, I want to have a ponytail. Now I think so actually, like, bigger conversation. One of the reasons I think representation is so important is because you're able to see yourself in media, and you're able to understand, like, oh, that's who I am. I see myself. That's okay. When I was a kid, I never saw gay storylines played out in media, and so I remember thinking that, like, I had these feelings for these people that I saw on television, but I interpreted them in the heterosexual lens that I was given, which at the time was, those feelings must be, I want to be their friend, or I want to emulate them. And so I wanted to emulate Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I wanted to do him.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't want to emulate Levin as well. So,
Right?
I mean,
So like knowing now, like reframing that, I had a huge crush on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but at that age and what I had been taught so far was those feelings. That's not what those feelings were, because that's not allowed. That's not an option.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have a ponytail, but my parents wouldn't let me. So I had the closest thing, which was a mullet. So you can see in the image, my hair is like out to here. Oh God, it was so tragic. I'm like, parents, why did you let me do that?
Oh my.
Anyway, so I was very awkward, and it was so like it's a lot of the activities that we did at Camp Getaway, archery and like sports and all this stuff, and like you're kind of separated, boys and girls.
Yeah.
And even at that age, like I was more comfortable with the girls than I was with the boys, and so like I think mercilessly is probably a little bit of exaggeration, but like I definitely didn't fit in.
Yeah.
I wasn't like the other boys. I felt like an outsider. And I think one of the beautiful things about LGBT Weekend is you feel people are allowed to be themselves, and they're allowed to be their authentic selves.
Permission
given for that,
permission. Yeah.
And I definitely didn't feel that at this camp. Now I was lucky. I went to other camps where I definitely did feel that. I went to the Shenandoah Performance Camp, so basically choir camp, and the UVA Summer Enrichment Program.
Yeah.
Basically, like I went to UVA and like lived in the dorm, and it was super nerd. It was basically nerd camp. And those I felt way more comfortable. I felt much more like, oh, these are my people. This is more permission to be myself. Whereas Thunderbird was very much like, you should like sports, be with the guys. And I was like, that's not who I am. I even did like, there was fucking,
oh my God.
You could do the radio. You could like do a radio show. And I wanted to do that because my dad was a journalist. But like, oh, it was so lame. It was like, you got to pick the next song, and like no one actually listened to the radio because everyone was like playing their activities.
Yeah.
So I did it once and like never again.
Oh my God.
I did love archery though.
You did? Okay. Interesting. So what's your favorite? That was then. What's your favorite camp activity now?
Oh, I would say color war.
Really? And it seems like Monica's dominating color wars. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, between everybody here that's listening, Monica cheats. That's how she wins.
Yeah, that is a fact. That is a fact. You heard it here now, friends.
Yes, exactly.
You heard it here now.
Exactly. So let me ask you another question. I see that you have glitter on your eyelids right here, and also your nails are painted. So look, Glenn and I have a unique relationship. I know Gavin says that in the episode that he likes to TNT, which means in his mind try new things. For me, I certainly was not a glitter wearer in my entire life. I don't think I've ever worn glitter. But you gave me permission to wear glitter, and I thought that was an amazing thing for a straight guy. It's like, wow, I get to wear glitter here, and you in a future episode you end up helping me out with it. But I'm just curious as to like what the origins were for your glitter. Like, does it make you feel like you're standing out? How does it make you feel? Just curious as to all your emotions wrapped up in the glitter.
Yeah. So the first time that like really did a glitter look was it was a music festival in New York City called Electric Zoo, and
E-Zoo, baby.
E-Zoo, yeah. And I remember, so like I had been given a ticket by my friend. Like he had been given a ticket for 3 days and only wanted to go for 2 of the days. So he gave me for the last day, and like I was not prepared at all. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I didn't know anything. But like I made like a glitter like lightning bolt. A la oh God, what's his name?
Just a side note on lightning bolts. I've done a lightning bolt in the side of my head once.
Oh, I'm living for that. Yes. Okay, but no. Oh, fuck, what's his name? He's a pop artist. He was like very like androgynous on stage. Had a lightning bolt. Oh shit. That's gonna hold on. I have to fucking look me up.
Hey, we can come back to it, but just give me the juice on your glitter. Okay, Google it,
I'm
Glenn.
gonna fucking Google it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Oh, yes. Wait. Oh
Come on.
shit. Okay. What? Okay. We'll come back to it.
David Bowie.
David Bowie. Jesus
Thank you,
Christ.
Glow Job. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Glow Job is one of Glenn's friends that came up this weekend. And Glow Job, I'm going to be honest with you, you killed the fashion walk by a long shot. Glenn, if you want to give some details into how what Glow Job is looking like. I also see Soul Definition here. Definition. What's up? So we got some of Glenn's friends. So let's talk a little bit more about the emotions behind glitter, and then I want to talk about your friends that came up too.
Yeah. So like, didn't know anything. I had like a blue lightning bolt, and I actually saw one of my friends there that I didn't even know was going to be there, and he like kind of took me under his wing. I had a fucking amazing time, and I remember like everyone was just so supportive. Everyone was like and that's kind of the rave fam mentality. Everyone like is complimenting to his looks. They're very welcoming. Hey, come dance with me. Hey, I love your look. I love your glitter, whatever. And it's very much rave culture.
Yeah.
And so I started going to more raves, and I wore glitter. But it was almost like it was just for this thing. And then eventually I started like slowly bringing it into other parties, other gay parties. But there was usually like, I will only use it in this place. And the more I did it, the more positive feedback I got.
Yeah.
And the more I was just like, you know what? I love this. And the thing is, like, for me, it's not about showing off or like, look how amazing my look is. You know, it's about like expressing myself.
Yeah.
Because it just makes me happy. Like I see it in the mirror, or like, I see the glint out of the corner of my eye, and it just makes me happy.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I see you wearing it, and I kind of like it just catches your eye. So like during the summer, and you wore it all the time, I'd always be looking over, and I'll see like a sparkle. I'm like, wow, it looks cool. I love the visual effect of it. You know?
Yeah. So and like as I've gotten older, I've sort of been given permission, or given myself permission, to wear more effeminate clothes, or or more glitter. And what's funny is like glitter and things that we have assigned female or effeminate. Like there's nothing like specifically male or female about it. Like unless you wear it with your dick or your vagina, it is not specifically meant for one gender.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I just got a mental snapshot of me just like dousing my dick with glitter. Like, there we go.
You know? Funny story, I've done that.
Okay, tell me. You tell.
I was on Fire Island, and I was like, I like fucked this married couple, and they were going to a party afterwards, and I had to go back to the ferry, and they were like, will you do our glitter? And I was like, I would be honored. So I like, did glitter, and it's like body, it's like this paste. You put this paste on them.
Yeah.
And so they're like, I'm putting the paste on, and I pulled down his Speedo, and I like glittered his dick. His dick was covered in glitter.
That's an amazing story.
And I was like, this is the job I was meant to do. Dick glittering. You know?
Oh my God, Glenn, you got me in stitches. That is so funny.
Back to important topics.
Yes.
So like, we've assigned these gender roles where like men wear this, women wear this, and like it's so limiting.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Like, wear what you want. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
If it makes you feel, if it looks good on you, if it makes you feel good, fucking wear it.
Yeah. I really like your glitter style. I really enjoyed it. The way that you wear it, I just feel like you own it. And I think that's important because, if you wear it and you're maybe a little timid, it might come across a little bit different. But one thing I really respect and admire about you is that, whatever you're doing, you fucking own it, man. Like it's nobody's business. And I am really really proud of you for that, because I know it's not easy. I'm looking at the comments here. I see Ravi making a lot of comments, and I just want to just go from the glitter to the fan clacking, the clack clack.
Yeah.
And Ravi has a great scene during I think it's like a party scene on like a Saturday night where he's clacking the fan, and I know that you've been a fan clacker. So just curious how the pairing of the glitter and the fan go, and where you got those ideas, or is it a cultural thing? Is it a rave scene thing? Is it something that you picked up on? Just curious.
Yeah. So the fan, like most good things in the gay community, comes from the ball culture of the 1980s and 90s. So a ball was a meeting of LGBT people of color in Harlem, and they would have these competitions, and so they would have categories, and pretty much like everything you see on RuPaul's Drag Race comes from those balls. And most of the words that we still use, and a lot of the terminology, and so like it would get real fucking hot in those things. It's all these fucking people all together. So I'm like, bitch, you better trust these fabulous humans had a fan to fan themselves.
Damn
and it
right.
Matriculated down into the party scene, and I encountered them in the circuit scene. So a circuit party is a gay party with tribal house music. So it got that influence from reggaeton, which is but it got that influence from white party, which was in Florida. So a lot of the DJs from South America, Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, they added the influence of reggaeton to circuit music, but like sped it up.
Yeah.
So reggaeton is, but circuit music is, and so a circuit party, all these guys. So like supposedly like the lore is that one of the first circuit parties in general, they are parties that are raising money for AIDS research. That's how they started. And the circuit, there were like these big ones in multiple cities. So the big ones were Black Party in New York, White Party in Miami, White Party in California, Winter Party in Miami, etc. So each of those big parties, they were to raise money for the AIDS research. And so one of the first ones was in this old, it was a converted fire station.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not meant for a big party. So like, there's no air conditioning, there's no circulation. So it's all these guys, and they all take their shirts off, and they need fans. So that's kind of like where it all started. And so now everyone knows circuit parties to be these like huge events. No one's wearing a shirt, they're wearing harnesses, they got fans. It's and then like you're dancing until like the wee hours of the morning. Like you're there from like midnight until 8 a.m. It's amazing. I love it.
Hey, look, that harness you wore, with the angel harness at the Saturday night.
Yeah, I've worn that at the party. Yeah,
killing it. I think your outfits are certainly rival mine. You're definitely in the 9 area. I'm gonna reserve the 10 for I'm just joking.
So I think you're a camp. Let me say like you're a camp 5, and I reserve the 10 for me. For your outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's good. What I can tell you is that in the comments, I see a lot of people just saying, "Hey, thanks for the history lesson." I think this is it's really cool that you're just kind of explaining, the background so we can give people a little bit more context. But I just want to jump to the folks who you brought up for the weekend. And, I thought, I wish that we were able to see a little bit more of that in the show. There's just so much happening. There's so many storylines. There's 8 people. Gavin's brand new. Randall's doing stand-up. Monica's over here. Neely's doing this. It's like so much. But I thought you had such amazing friends that you brought up, and I just would if you can maybe give each one of them, you know, a minute to shine and just kind of just run down and talk about them and, you know, give them a moment here. I think that'd be really special.
Yeah, for sure. So it's hard when like you're there for 3 full days and to like bring everything down into 40 minutes. It's hard to fill everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for giving me this chance. So I had 4 of my friends there. Liz, who is a lesbian composer, singer-songwriter that I met doing the international tour of Hair. So she like performed for us. It was amazing. My other friend Dominique, who we saw her in a couple moments. She was the one with like who put the flower on her head in the dollar store drag scene.
Yes, so, I love that scene. By the way, dollar store drag. I mean, come on. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever heard. And you were like, you knew how to do the puffy thing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
So Dominique, so she is a trans model. So I actually met her. I just met her on like Christopher Street Pier. I like brought my guitar on a summer day, and I was just like playing guitar, and I just love her energy.
Yeah,
she has such beautiful energy, and so when I was picking people I wanted to show on the show, like I wanted to like people to share their energy, and I was like, she's fucking perfect. I wish you could have seen more of her. So Darius or Soul, I met them. Yeah, I met them at What the Float. So I met Zach and Darius at What the Float, which is the silent disco that we do.
Okay.
So Darius was actually one of my DJs for the one that I led. So I led one. My first one was in the West Village last year, and then this past year in May, I led one that went through the West Side, and Darius did one of the mixes, and it was so good. It was like it was so much like good like Spanish music. Like the beats were amazing. Like it was awesome.
Did you toss glitter on them? What was the opener? How did you open? Were you just like amazing DJ set?
So there was glitter. There was one moment where I threw glitter on people. Like obviously there's gonna be a moment where I throw glitter on people.
Obviously, Glenn. Obviously.
Yeah. So we were like dancing through Central Park, and that's where a lot of his set was, or where their set was. And like the finale was like there's this. It was like who is it? It's like there's a lake in the middle of around like
Central
97?
Park. Yeah. It's the reservoir. I think it's like a reservoir.
Yeah. It's not the one near the Bethesda Fountain. It's like more north than that, like the 90s. It's not there. I think it's like Jackie O Reservoir or something.
Yeah,
but
Jackie O Reservoir.
That was like the finale. It was so beautiful. And then Zach, or Glowjob, as his drag persona is.
Zach, aka Glowjob, literally killed it. The energy that Zach was giving out was amazing. And great person too. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think Zach's awesome. Zach, what's up?
For sure. What I love about Glowjob as a drag queen, she is so creative. Like everything that she puts on, it's like every look is so thought out, and it's very heightened. It's very clown, and it's very like found, like upcycled. Like it's found objects. It's not like it's like a fucking dress. It's like this. Like you saw she was in the luau.
Yep.
It's this dress made out of like string or some shit. Like what the fuck? Like she's like fucking piano.
Where do you come from, Zach? Give me. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish they could have been featured more. But if you guys check out my page in the coming days, I'm going to do interviews with them, so they get to tell their stories.
Oh, great.
So we get to see a little more in depth.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. That's one of the first things that you told me when we got there, is just to listen to the story. And, there's just so much going on, and, obviously a TV show. So it's like, we don't really get an opportunity to highlight that. So when is that going to be? So I could just tell everyone who's listening right now and make sure that they are, directed over to that.
Yep. So I have to actually like double check with them on the days. I have to like switch some people around, but I'm going to be interviewing Zach, Darius, and Dolores.
Oh, Dolores. Yeah, so Dolores is one of the guests that actually came up. We didn't get a chance to really, see her too much on camera, but maybe we can give Dolores just a minute of of fame here, if you wouldn't mind just kind of explaining who Dolores was and what happened.
Yeah. So the amazing thing about Dolores is during filming at the time, she identified as a gay man who occasionally did drag, and the drag persona was Dolores Dégagé. She was a ballet teacher, hence dégagé, which is a ballet term. And she started drag because one of her friends was a drag queen who died of AIDS. And so she became a drag queen to sort of like maintain the memory of her friend. And so for this weekend, she was Dolores Dégagé the whole weekend. And it was the first time that she'd ever been Dolores Dégagé for an extended period of time.
Wow.
And everyone just like, oh yeah, hi Dolores, like welcome, you're Dolores. And she looks fierce, you're fabulous, amazing. And at the end of the weekend, she just sort of like breathed this like sigh of relief and just felt something that she'd never felt before. And so recently she had her name legally changed to Dolores Dégagé.
Was that because of us at Camp Getaway? Did it have anything to do with it?
I mean, it didn't be of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're changing names, okay? We're helping people change their names. We're helping people, figure out what they want to do in their lives and go for it. Glen is a prime example of that. So it's just another great story, and I really appreciate it.
So the full story, stay tuned to my page. I'm going to interview her on Friday.
Okay. I'll definitely be tuning into that one because Dolores and I built a relationship.
She loved you, yeah.
We had a great time. Dolores, I don't know if she's watching right now, but she was obsessed with my biceps. So there's a picture of like there's a picture of my biceps like this, and her head is right behind me, and she was just enamored by it. So look, I gave her what she wanted. You want to hang out with the biceps, you want the gun show, baby. You got it. Glen, you really just get me. You get me. All right. Is there anything else? I mean, we've been live for about 35 minutes now, but is there anything else that you wanted to just kind of wrap up and maybe just say about the episode that people didn't get a chance to see, or any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I just think like one of the cool things about this episode, I think one of the things that makes this episode unique is there is just this energy about a safe queer space, and it's hard to describe. Like, I don't know if you, Nile, will ever truly understand what it means to have like a safe queer space. Like,
yeah.
Because even like being the one straight man around all gay people is kind of a cool experience. It's like, oh, this is a fun experience. I'm not used to being the minority.
Yeah.
As a cis white straight man, you are never in a minority. But you're an open-minded person, and so that experience is cool and enlightening for you. And
yeah.
not always. I think some people would be threatened.
Yeah.
But even as a minority, you're still like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow from this experience.
Absolutely.
For members of the LGBT community, being a minority, sometimes you have to adjust yourself. You have to, in certain spaces, you have to adjust. You have to tone it down. Or like, okay, we're walking down the street. I probably can't hold my boyfriend's hand right now. Depending on what area we're in. Still in 2020, but in a queer space like Camp Getaway on LGBT weekend was, or Fire Island, or like the positive gay bars that we found, it's just this moment of like being a sign of relief. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to adjust. And so I do really appreciate that you listen. I told you at the beginning to listen, and I think you really did that. So like, that is what it means to be an ally. Like, you'll never truly know what it's like to have the experience, but like, you're willing to listen and like make that first step.
Yeah.
And it shows. So like I really appreciate that, and I think that's what makes this weekend special. Is that like it wasn't just people getting to be who they were, but like it was allies.
Yeah.
Being really fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how cool are we going to show that on Bravo? You know, I think
no better platform to do it. No better platform to do it. And you know, I just really, you know, I really respect that you taking the lead, and really, I don't know. It's just for me, I just saw such a sense of pride, you know, that you took, you know, no pun intended with the pride word, but you really had, and that's an honest word. I'm saying pride. Like you had pride in every aspect of that weekend, you know, from the streamers right when we got in to greeting the guests to making sure that your friends were having a good time. The thing that I really admire and respect about you is that you're, you know, even though you might have a lot going on, because God knows you had a lot going on over the summer, and you know, and we know you lost your father, ladies and gentlemen. Glen lost his father a couple months prior to this, and you know, it's very sorry for your loss. But just for you to actually come up and be a beacon of strength for others, you know, during, you know, probably one of the hardest summers that you probably went through, and I would say what you did was you became extremely selfless, and you focused on, you know, the community and, you know, being a representation or an embodiment for the whole. And, you know, I think you did an excellent job, and I'm just, you know, I'm just really proud of you. And, you know, ever since I first met you, man, I just, you know, I knew there was something special about you. You got an amazing personality. You have an amazing light inside of you. And that is something that I firmly believe, as somebody that's grown to be a very good friend of yours, that should be on a major platform like Bravo. I feel like you should be, you know, on Ellen. I think all, you know, Oprah, you fucking name it, you're going there. And I couldn't be more supportive of your whole entire journey. And, you know, it's just an honor and a pleasure to watch. And I'm just, you know, I'm really grateful to be, you know, your friend and associated with you, because, you're such a great guy, and you know, I'm really appreciative that our relationship has, you know, formed into a great friendship. And you know, we talk, you know, Glen and I, you know, we speak all the time. You know, we spoke for 30 minutes today. You know, it's a special thing, and you know, I'm not sure if you have too many straight, you know, guys in your life that you can talk to like we talk, because you know, I have gay friends, but I don't have you know, a Rolodex of them. And so for me, it's just great, because like, you know, you might not even know, but I'm like subconsciously like picking your brain. Like, you know, tell me a little bit more about glitter, you know, just so I can understand it, because, you know, it's, you know, I'm an athlete. I played football, you know, of all things. So for me, you know, just being exposed to that and being super open-minded about the entire experience, you know, has really allowed me to see a whole new world, you know, in a whole new side of everything. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's a complete hat off to you, you know, for the strength and courage that you had to demonstrate throughout the summer, and specifically on this weekend. You know, I really appreciate it, Glen. And, you know, I'm just really, really happy to be your friend.
Thanks, man. That means a lot to say that. I love you too, man.
Yeah, I love you, man. So I don't know if you want to end it there, but I think that's good. If you had any final thoughts, feel free to share them. But, you know, nothing but love, man, my brother.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's what this show was. This episode was about. Love.
Yeah, for everybody. So everybody that's listening, you know, spread love. We only got one life. There's no room for hate. Everyone's got their own journey. Really appreciate you all for tuning in and listening to this history lesson, and getting some backstory of who Glen is, where he came from, some of the struggles that he went through in his life to get to where he is, and also just talk about some of the stories and some of your friends that came up. And I really just can't wait for you to you know, go live with them and interview them, and I'll certainly be there watching, and I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody so much. We really appreciate you all for checking in and spending your time. It's almost 12 o'clock on a Monday, so we really appreciate it. And we'll check you tomorrow. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow, by the way, with Randall. I don't know what time yet, so I'll drop it on the IG and let you know when. And we hope to hear you soon and see you guys. Thank you so much for all coming in, and we really appreciate it. Spread love, okay? All right. Bye, everybody.